session today is about empowering decision making with advanced financial analytics. What do you look forward to in your session?
So you are asking that, what do we look for, when we actually do AI? And I think the biggest benefit for AI is decision making, agility, and when the company is actually growing, you can actually expand all the decision making without really adding any manpower and things like that. And the decisions are very, very fast. So that is number one. Second thing is that overall, as single source of truth, we ensure that the data is coming from a single platform and it actually has all the details. The third thing, and which is the most critical part, is that the kind of variables which AI can actually deal with it is humanly impossible to take those kind of decisions.
How important do you think it is for leaders to have a forward thinking approach in managing finances for the future of the businesses?
Well, it is very important in the world when the companies are growing. You cannot be actually working and driving the car based on the rear view mirror. You have to have a forward view, and for that, it is important to see what are the risks associated. How the things are coming in, what risk we have to ensure, what preparedness the company needs for growing the business, because every day it's a new challenge. So how do you deal with that, and what kind of options you create for the company as well as for the function you are dealing with, and that actually helps to really navigate through these challenging times the way we see it.
What would you say are those key features or key qualities that a leader in the financial sphere should possess in order to lead their business?
I think I can go endless on this, but the key aspect is that understanding the business, understanding the technology, and how the different levers can actually help navigating through it. And the last thing is the relationships, how, because the CFO is also an integrator apart from a strategist and things like that. So he's an integrator, so how the whole organization actually integrates together to be able to deliver what the company needs it. And eventually, we have to add value to the company from a shareholder's perspective. And that is the critical part. So unless and until all the pieces come together, and CFO actually is the person who can actually do that job, because that job position has the visibility across the functions and across the organization, what has happened in the past and what is going to happen in future. So when you take all those things together, that is the reason why CFO is in a right position to deal with any uncertainties and anything which is happening in the company. So that's how those are the qualities the person should possess. And the last thing is that obviously we should be forward looking, from a digital perspective also. He should be able to imbibe so that the ability for him to manage the challenges becomes far more easier, if not impossible. Yes, that is how it is.
So we spoke about the leaders. Now let's talk about the organization. What do you think are, what approach should an organization take to encourage that sort of financial thinking among its leaders?
Yeah, I think commercial acumen, as you rightly say, is the critical part. So if the sales guy only knows how to sell, but he doesn't know how much money he's making while selling, what kind of pricing the person is doing. Similarly, for manufacturing folks, what kind of automations they can bring in to be able to bring in productivity. Now, unless and until it is converted into money, rupee value, it becomes very difficult for anybody to understand what kind of value add, what are based on the actions which the person or the organization is doing, how much value it is getting created. So unless and until there is a linkage between what the actions are and the monetary value, that actually helps to decipher, okay, this is the kind of. So if the people are able to understand the money value of the actions they are doing, whether it is good or bad, the decisions will be far more easier to make them in that case. Yeah.
Last question. We have seen financial companies in the West taking leverage of AI to make their decisions. How far do you think India is from actually doing that, from replicating that, using AI to take financial decisions?
So, I would say that we are, getting there now. a lot of companies which are moving and which are forward looking, they are imbibing AI in a very, very, obviously, and at least we have all seen the benefits of AI and the kind of decision making which can bring in because of the AI implementation. It is, humanly impossible. So I'll give you an example. So, for a supply chain, if you have to make a forecasting for, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, there are almost 7,000 to 10,000 variables to make. Now, irrespective, the whole organization can work for it, but still you will not be able to justify the results of it. But when the AI comes in, obviously, there is some coding and things like that, and we have to make sure that it is correct. But the kind of delivery and the time which it takes, and the accuracy and the scenario planning which it gives, it's the process is mammoth. I can tell you, I've seen it multiple times over, and if the system is not there, I feel, we cannot actually even operate now. That is where it is. But most of the companies are getting there, and all the growth companies I have seen, at least, and I have been talking to a lot of companies, they are all looking for a 3 to 5 years plan to be able to actually implement AI in their organizations in different functions. Something could be a baby step, but something could be a leap. But I'm sure that over a period of time, everybody would see huge amount of impact going forward in this area.
Thank you, sir, so much for this insightful chat. Great having you here. Thanks.
Thank you so much.